Hello everyone. Today we discuss about the topic analysis of data to be continued. In this we study about the topic parametric and non-parametric test and various other procedures on analysis of data. So let's see the parametric test. In the parametric test, these are latest tests which are known as normal distribution and statistical test. The statistical methods of interference make certain assumptions about the population from which the samples are drawn. The statistical techniques that make assumption about the parameters are called parametric techniques. That means the parametric tests are also known as normal distribution test. Normal means in which we have to use normal scales and normal parametric measures to use the statistical measures. We use the various assumptions which helpful in the parametric techniques. Commonly used parametric test. There are various commonly used parametric tests which will be used on the various measures. First one is paired t-test, second one is unpaired t-test, then z-test, then one-way ANOVA test, then Pearson coefficient of correlation. In the paired t-test, it is used to compare two quantitative measurements taken from the same group of individuals. In unpaired t-test, it is used to compare means between two distinct independent groups. And in the z-test, it is used to compare the difference in population mean and a sample mean, or the difference between two independent sample means. In one-way ANOVA, it is used to compare means between three or more independent groups, but may be used for more than two repeated measures of same group. Pearson coefficient of correlation. In this, it is used to estimate the degree of relationship association between two quantitative variables. So, what is paired t-test? It is used to compare between two quantitative measurements. That is, if we measure two quantitative or two numbers of measurement, we will use paired t-test. In the unpaired t-test, it is used to compare between two independent groups. If we compare two groups or two independent group or two social groups or between two pupils group, we used unpaired t-test. In the z-test, it is used to compare between the difference in population mean and sample mean, or the difference between the two independent sample means. In this, we use z-test as a method to find out the difference or compare between the two independent sample means. That means if we find out the mean of the sample of one group and then compare into one to each other, we use the z-test. The one-way ANOVA test, it is used to compare between three or more independent groups, but may be used for more than two repeated measures of same group. We use repeated measures, and for the same group or different group, we use the ANOVA. Pearson coefficient or correlation means it is used to find out the relationship or association between the two numbers of variables or two or more independent or dependent variables. Then next we see non-parametric test. Non-parametric tests allow the testing of hypotheses that are not statements about population parameter values. Parametric tests are the tests which allow to test the Pearson value, but in non-parametric test, these are allow the testing of hypotheses that are not statement about the population of parametric values. That means those values which are not according to the parametric values or population, we use the non-parametric test in a hypothesis. and in non-parametric tests tend to be compulsionally easier and consequently more quickly applied than parametric procedure. Non-parametric tests are easily applied in the comparison or easily find out the test of the values. Non-parametric procedures may be applied when the data being analyzed consists merely of ranking of classification. Non-parametric tests were used to ranking the different classification, or when we have to rank different variables or different classification of data, we use the non-parametric test. Next, the commonly used non-parametric test. In this, the various commonly used non-parametric tests are chi-square test, the sign test, Mann-Whitney test, median test, and the Wilcoxon signed rank test. In the first chi-square test, it is used to association between two nominal or ordinal set of data or variables. If we find out the association between two nominal or ordinal, that means normally we have to find out the values of data variables, or we have to find out the association by using the chi-square. It is used in the next sign test. It is used an alternative test to t-test where median is compared rather than mean. If we find out the comparison between the median and mean and the median, we use the sign test. The Mann-Whitney test, it is the test in this median does not make full use of the information measured on ordinal scale. Therefore, Mann-Whitney test is used for better use of data. Median test. In median test, it is used to test the null hypothesis. Then two independent samples have drawn from population with equal median. Wilcoxon signed rank test means this test is most appropriate, which tests the magnitude of difference between measurements and a hypothesized location parameter rather than just the signs of difference. Next, we see the analysis of qualitative data. The qualitative analysis is a time-consuming, detail-oriented, seemingly overwhelming task that provides ways of discerning, examining, comparing, and interpreting meaningful patterns or themes. That means when we analyze the details and when we analyze the comparison between two objects or patterns or themes, we discerning or we have to compare between two objects, we use the qualitative analysis. Problems in qualitative analysis are there are no universal accepted rules and methods for analysis of qualitative data. So it is the main problem how we have to find out the data. There is a lack of standard analysis method and procedures for qualitative data. So if we have to find out any qualitative procedure, there is a lack of standard analysis method, so we have to how to measure or how to we have to do, that is the main problem. But we have to compare between the two quality of the objects. Qualitative data cannot be condensed too much like quantitative data because they may lose their richness of content and evidentiary value. Qualitative data cannot be condensed too much. That means when we have to find out the quality of the data, we have not do much use of that data because the richness or content or the evidence value is been lost. Qualitative data analysis process. The analysis of qualitative data is carried out typically in active and inactive process. It is a process of conjecture and verification, of correction and modification, of suggestion and defense. Processes that play a role in qualitative analysis are comprehending, synthesizing, theorizing, and recontextualizing. Comprehending means if we have to above the limit, if we have to collect them all of the data values to find out the collective values, uh, qualitative analysis data, then we use to comprehending, or we have to collect or grab the data, that is called comprehending. Synthesizing means when we gather the most of the data from various parts, or when we have to synthesize, that means we have to recall and re-roll the data, is called synthesizing. Theorizing means we have to report, or we have to make a data which is having collection of the records of the qualitative analysis. Recontextualizing means we have to re-evaluate the values of the qualitative analysis of the data. The next step of qualitative data analysis: describing of study sample characteristics, ordering and coding of data, data summarization in compilation of sheets, further summarization of data in narration, matrices, figures and quasi-statistical tables. Matrices can be utilized for qualitative as well as quantitative data comparison. In this step, we used to describe the study sample. We have to describe what your sample is having, what your sample is, and what your sample is, that means the biodata of the sample, or what your sample do. And ordering of and coding of data means you have to order and make the codings of your sample, that is 0, 1 or odd in even number. And data summarizing in compilation sheet mean we have to summarize the data which we have been collected from the sample. Then establishing the validity of qualitative data. It is the representative of data analysis. Biasness checking, cross-checking data with evidence from other independent source, comparing and contrasting data, using extreme informants to the maximum, undertaking additional research while testing the findings of your study, information from your informants. That is the qualitative data analysis validity is the representative or the representative of the whole data. If we have any bias, or the research having any bias, we have to cross check the data and the evidence from the independent sources which we have to collect. We have to compare and contrast the data in the qualitative data, which helps in validation. Using extreme informants to the maximum, that means we have to use the various source of collection of data for our analysis. Next, we summarize the topic. What is analysis of data? Analysis of data is the collection of the data, and we have to analyze and reevaluate the data. In the parametric test, we use the normal data and the normal values. In the non-parametric test, we use the values which are not in the parametric values. The commonly used parametric tests are t-test, z-test, etc. And the non-parametric tests are commonly used are chi-square test, etc. So that's all for the class. Thank you and be healthy.